The ECHL converges on Wichita with a classic All-Star Classic. We'll hear from men who made history in the league's past and women who are making history today. Yes, even some big silver cups were in attendance, and you'll feel like you were there too after this special edition of ECHL Week.
Hi, welcome to a special edition of ECHL Week. This time we come to you from Wichita, Kansas, and feature the newest Hall of Fame members as well as the 2020 ECHL All-Star Classic. The Eastern Conference Stars defeated their Western counterparts 4-3 in the championship game of the 2020 ECHL All-Star Classic. The event featured a 3-on-3 tournament with 4 teams competing for the top spot, with the host Wichita Thunder comprising 2 of the squads and facing off against the other 2 teams made up of All-Stars from the Eastern and Western conferences. In order to crown a winner, the 4 teams competed in a 3-on-3 round-robin tournament with rally scoring. In the championship game, the Eastern Conference began with a 2-0 lead courtesy of their 2-goal advantage, which it amassed during the rally scoring format of the event. Norfolk's Robin Amarato and Callie Flanagan of the Professional Women's Hockey Players Association earned goals for the East in the title game. We'll have more about women's participation in the event later in the show. It was the second year of the current format, which pits stars from both conferences against a pair of teams representing the host club. Despite the fact that Eastern Conference stars have come out victorious both times, the structure seems to work well as it showcases many of the league's best players while giving home fans a definite rooting interest. And with modified rules which shorten the games, all but eliminate stoppages of play, and reward offense and scoring, there's plenty of action to keep everyone entertained. Logan Rowe of the Florida Everblades, the East team captain, took home Most Valuable Player honors as he earned an event-high 7 points, including a pair of goals and 5 assists. The annual ECHL All-Stars Skills Competition was held during the event, with the winning player in each category earning goals toward his team's cumulative score. Tulsa's J.J. Piconich earned 1 goal for the Western Conference by winning the fastest skater event with a time of 13.05 seconds. Wichita's Billy Excel of Team Bolts was a close second. In the hardest shot event, Idaho's Brady Norrish earned 2 goals for the Western Conference with a shot of 95 miles per hour. No other participant topped 90. The final skills event was the accuracy shooting competition. Atlanta's Tommy Marchin earned the win and 3 points for the Eastern Conference with a very impressive performance, hitting 4 targets in 2.369 seconds.
Comments from the 4 new members of the ECHL Hall of Fame. Straight ahead on ECHL Week.
This is ECHL Week.
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 And the number 1 source for ECHL news, ECHL Week.
Hi, I'm Parker Milner of the South Carolina Stingrays, and you're watching ECHL Week.
Time to hear from the members of the class of 2020 of the ECHL Hall of Fame. Jared Bednar played and coached in the ECHL for 15 seasons and was the first person to win 3 Kelly Cup titles, 2 as a player and 1 as a head coach, all with South Carolina. He's the current coach of the NHL's Colorado Avalanche.
I wouldn't be able to, be where I'm at or be doing what I'm doing without my time in the ECHL. And there was some crazy games and crazy rivalries, and learned a lot. You have to start someplace, and you put in your time and try to improve and hone your craft and hopefully get the opportunity to move up. There's a lot of things that I'm real proud of from my time in the ECHL. Probably most importantly is the friendships and relationships that I've built from my time and from different teams in the league. And now I'm living in Charleston. That's where I spent the bulk of my career, so wouldn't be there if it wasn't for my time in the ECHL.
Danny Bousquet was ECHL ECHL Rookie of the Year in 1997, and during his 6 years in the league, he averaged nearly 1.5 points per game. He scored 35 goals in each of his ECHL seasons and ranks 10th in league history with 254 goals.
We were actually at the hospital with my father-in-law. He just had a double stroke, and Joe called me, and I was at the hospital with my father-in-law, and announced me that I was actually inducted in the Hall of Fame. But everyone got better. He's okay now. I think it gave him a push as well to experience that moment with me, and very honored to be here today. Everyone contribute in what you achieve as a person, so it's not a one-person show. It's a team show. So I mean, it's a game that without your teammates, without the coaches, without the staff, the trainers and all that takes care of your body as well, they all have a part to play in that, and I'm very fortunate that a great bunch of guys and good people around me that backed me up through these years.
Derek Clancy played in nearly 400 ECHL games and amassed over 500 points. Once his playing career ended, he went right into coaching and was the bench boss for Jackson and Reading over the next 6 years. He's the Pittsburgh Penguins Director of Player Personnel.
When you're in it, I guess you don't realize what you're actually accomplishing as a whole league, as a part of that. But yeah, we had a lot of great times. We did a lot of ups and downs in the growing pains of the league when we first started. And I remember my first year in Toledo, our assistant GM was the backup goalie. I can speak for Pittsburgh itself. We're heavily invested in Wheeling. We have a lot of our personnel people down there on a regular basis. We have a lot of NHL contract guys down there on a regular basis. I think in our 16 and 17 Cup years, 3, 4, 5 guys maybe spent time in Wheeling earlier in their career. We really use it. We believe in it, and I think that's not going to change anytime soon.
Glenn Metropolitan spent just 2 seasons playing in the ECHL, averaging well over a point a game. He enters the Hall in the developmental player category owing to his 407-game NHL career. He also appeared in more than 450 games in various European leagues.
I'm very proud to be able to say I came through the East Coast Hockey League, and it made me the player I was. It gave me some sandpaper. It made me tough. Not saying the American Hockey League, IHL didn't make me tough, but when you're playing the East Coast Hockey League at 20, you got to fight for your spot on the ice, playing against the likes of the Bednars and they're just tough players, man. I wouldn't change a thing. You can look at your career like it's you're on a train, stopping at different stops. Getting people on it, people off of it. Some people stay on it for the whole train ride. Some people get off. But I've been blessed, same as Jared, to be able to. I put a good career together. Played 22 years pro, stayed healthy, loved the game, and I think a lot of it had to do with just my love for the game, my enthusiasm for the game.
Our news block. Plus, we hear from players who made history during the All-Star Classic when ECHL Week continues.
Hi, I'm Tommy Marchin with the Atlanta Gladiators, and you're watching the ECHL Week.
Wherever the ECHL Hall of Fame event goes, the Hockey Hall of Fame is sure to follow. You'll often find all sorts of cool hockey artifacts when you go watch an ECHL All-Star event. Now let's take a look at news from all around the ECHL. There's still more than a month to go until the trading deadline, and many teams continue to make moves in preparation for the stretch run. Entering this week, 22 of the league's 26 teams were either in a playoff position or within 10 points of one. Among the deals since the All-Star break, Indy acquired forward Ryan Van Stralen and defenseman Cliff Watson from Kansas City in exchange for forward Sam Kirker and Matt Schmalz. South Carolina picked up forward Brandon Truk from Toledo for defenseman Dylan Zink, forward Jonathan Charbonneau, and the rights to defenseman Tim Davison, who is playing in Denmark. The Walleye then flipped Charbonneau to Idaho in exchange for defenseman Nolan Glukowski. Deals which involved future considerations had goaltender Ben Halford moving to Jacksonville from Atlanta, defenseman Brett Beauvais going to Adirondack from Greenville, defenseman Cameron Heath heading to Greenville from Wheeling, defenseman Jack McNee going to Worcester from the Nailers, and Toledo obtained forward Jimmy Lodge, recently returned from Slovakia, from Orlando. Also completing a previous trade, the Swamp Rabbits picked up forward Carl Almier from Indy. The trade deadline is Thursday, March 5th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. A couple of notes regarding the recent Board of Governors midseason meeting. Starting with games on February 10th, goaltender interference has been added to the list of criteria which are eligible for video replay review by game officials. All the other criteria are concerned with whether goals are scored. Also, the Governors have approved an increase in the maximum roster size for the playoffs. Starting this April, 24 players instead of 23 will be allowed on the roster, 20 active roster, and 4 reserve spots.
Hi, I'm JJ Pickett of the Tulsa Oilers, and you're watching ECHL Week.
The recent ECHL All-Star Classic was unique in that it included women players on the ice with men for the first time. 4 women who have won Olympic gold medals and/or world championship titles joined the ECHL All-Stars on the ice in Wichita. Their participation was part of the Professional Women's Hockey Players Association's Barnstorming Dream Gap Tour that's visiting several cities around North America.
My brother Aaron played in the ECHL, and so I know a lot of players and have watched the ECHL and followed them, and so it's an honor for all of us for my teammates to be here.
I think it's really awesome of the ECHL to invite us out here and have us out here. It provides more of that visibility that we've been fighting for and hoping for, and so I think it's definitely really exciting, and we're super excited for tonight and to see what it all brings.
Our ultimate goal, yes, is having one league where the best players can play, earn a living wage, have full-time equipment managers and staff, and have health insurance and everything that comes along with it.
Seeing them talk about the women as being part of an all-star game, and it's almost not a fact that it's not the women playing in the all-star game, it's just the women are there. It's not as big a deal as it may have been, although it's history. It's not surprising to people anymore.
That wraps up our special Hall of Fame and All-Star edition of ECHL Week from Wichita, Kansas. Thanks for watching. Make sure to follow us on all our social media channels. It's the best way to keep up to date on everything that's going on throughout the ECHL. We have a new podcast up now too, featuring Commissioner Emeritus Pat Kelly. You won't want to miss that. See you next time.